When of the following is a system default profile used? A. When there is no user logged on at the computer. B. When a user has logged on using the guest account. C. When after the user has logged on the personal or mandatory profiles are missing or corrupted. D. When the local accounts database recognizes that the user logging on has never done so from this computer. The correct answer is when there is no user logged on at the computer. In UTP Cat5 wiring, patch cables from the wall outlet to the PC have a distance limitation of A. 1 meter, B. 3 meters, C. 6 meters, D. 9 meters. The correct answer is 3 meters. In which of the following cable systems are T-connectors and terminators are used? A. FD, B. Token ring, C. Thin Ethernet, D. Low ST. The correct answer is Thin Ethernet. An Ethernet switch works at the protocol layer. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is false. You want to keep an individual from logging onto a Windows NT server computer by using the default administrator account. How should you do this? A. Delete the administrator account. B. Lock out the administrator account. C. Rename the administrator account. D. Disable the administrator account. The correct answer is rename the administrator account. There are two domains on your network. The design domain trusts the sales domain. A color printer is shared in the design domain and print permissions have been granted to the domain users and domain guests groups in the design domain. The guest account has been enabled in the design domain. User John Y logs on using his account in the sales domain. What must you do to allow Johnny to access the printer? A. Make Johnny a member of the design domain guests group. B. Make Johnny a member of the design domain users group. C. Do nothing. Johnny can access the printer now. D. Johnny cannot access the printer with this configuration. The correct answer is do nothing. Johnny can access the printer now. Another drawback with repeaters is that the traffic generated on one segment is propagated onto the other segments. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is true. What does the directory replicator service allow you to do? A. Copy updated user accounts from a primary domain controller to a backup domain controller. B. Copy directories and files from a Windows NT server computer to a Windows NT Workstation computer that is not a member of a domain. C. Mirror the files on multiple partitions from one Windows NT server computer to another. D. Copy files from a Windows NT Workstation computer to a Windows NT server computer. The correct answer is copy directories and files from a Windows NT server computer to a Windows NT Workstation computer that is not a member of a domain. A route is a path between two network segments. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is true. Since bridges buffer frames, it is possible to interconnect different network segments which use different MAC protocols. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is true. Fiber optic cable is often used to A. Replace UTP because it is cheaper. B. Overcome distance limitations. C. Connect PCs to wall outlets. D. Link remote sites using a WAN connection. The correct answer is overcome distance limitations. Workstations connected to a port on a modern low-based Ethernet hub all use the same bandwidth, i.e. the bandwidth is shared across all available ports. The less ports, the less bandwidth available per port. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is false. You want to install a new internal CD-ROM drive. You must first confirm that there will be no IRQ conflicts. How should you do this? A. Use Server Manager. B. Use Windows NT Diagnostics. C. Use the Devices option in Control Panel. D. Use the Add Remove Programs option in Control Panel. The correct answer is use Windows NT Diagnostics. A cut-through switch reads the entire packet before forwarding it to the destination segment. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is false. A trust relationship. A is created using Server Manager for domains. B is an administrative and communication link created between two Windows NT server domains. C can be created between Windows NT WS computers. D is bidirectional both way. The correct answer is an administrative and communication link created between two Windows NT server domains. You have been given the task of installing cables for an Ethernet network in your office. The building is an older one and you have limited workspace. In addition, the network cable will have to share the existing conduit with telephone cable, and cable segments will be up to 135 meters in length. Which cable is best suited to this installation? A. Fiber optic. B. Category 1 UTP. C. Category 3 UTP. D. Thicknet coaxial. The correct answer is Category 3 UTP. User Manager for domains. A is used to add a workstation to the domain. B is used to create user profiles and system policies. C is used to change file permissions. D is used to assign a logon script to a user or group of users. The correct answer is used to assign a logon script to a user or group of users. Several college interns are working at your company for the summer. You want to increase security by monitoring all user logons. How must you do this? A. Use Performance Monitor to create a log of all logon attempts. B. Use User Manager for domains to set an audit policy for all logon attempts. C. Use the Services option in Control Panel to start the alert service to audit logon attempts. D. Use Server Manager to set an audit policy for all logon attempts to be on the user's assigned computer only. The correct answer is use User Manager for domains to set an audit policy for all logon attempts. The system administrator wants to make sure that users have access only to certain programs on their systems. Which actions accomplish this? A. Create a mandatory user profile and lock all the program groups. B. Create a mandatory user profile that disables the run command. Assign this profile to all users and remove file manager from the main group. C. Create a mandatory user profile and ensure that the deny all option is set on all of the files that the user should not be able to access. D. Delete WinFilegexe from the Winant directory. Create a mandatory user profile that disables the file menu in Program Manager and assign the profile to all users. The correct answer is create a mandatory user profile that disables the run command. Assign this profile to all users and remove file manager from the main group. Assume that you are a user of a Windows NT Workstation in the SICON domain and the Windows NT Workstation has local accounts. You wish to have administrative rights to all Windows NT Advanced servers in the SICON domain. How would you achieve this with a minimum amount of administration? A. Run User Manager for domains on any Windows NT Advanced server in the SICON domain. Open the Domain Admins group. In the List Names from box, choose your workstation and add your workstation user account to the Domain Admins group. B. Add your user account to the local administrators group on each workstation in the SICON domain. C. Add your user account to the domain admins group on any Windows NT Advanced server in the SICON domain. D. Add your user account to the administrators group on each Windows NT Advanced server in the SICON domain. The correct answer is Run User Manager for domains on any Windows NT Advanced server in the SICON domain. Open the domain admins group. In the list names from box, choose your workstation and add your workstation U. As the network administrator, you create a new local group in the research domain named REditors. The lab domain trusts the research domain. You can assign access permissions to the REditors group from A. Any Windows NT Workstation computer in the lab domain. B. Any Windows NT Workstation computer in the research domain. C. Any Windows NT Server Backup Domain Controller in the lab domain. D. Any Windows NT Server Backup Domain Controllers in the research domain. The correct answer is Any Windows NT Server Backup Domain Controllers in the research domain. With a cell backplane architecture, the data rate on the backplane is significantly greater than the aggregate data rate of the ports. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. What is the purpose of the token in a network that employs a media access control method based on the IEEE 802.5 specification? A. Token passing provides higher throughput than CSMA/CD when twisted pair wiring is used. B. The station that holds the token is allowed to transmit a message on the network. C. The station that holds the token has the highest priority on the network. D. A token contains information that is used to route messages between rings. The correct answer is the station that holds the token is allowed to transmit a message on the network. Server Manager. A is used to demode a PDC to a BDC. B is used to shut down or restart a server. C is used to synchronize the domain. D is used to enable auditing. The correct answer is used to synchronize the domain. Bridges introduce small delays into a network. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. Bridges offer performance improvements when used in diverse or scattered work groups where the majority of access occurs outside of the local segment. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is false. Your company uses both Ethernet and token ring LANs in the same building. Users need access to resources and the ability to transmit data between the LANs. Which device would you use to enable communications between dissimilar LANs that use different protocols? A. Bridge. B. Router. C. Gateway. D. Repeater. The correct answer is gateway. Your 10-base-2 Ethernet cable is 185 meters long. You are planning to extend your network by adding another 100 meters of cable. The total length of the cable will be 285 meters. The network uses NetBEUI. Which device should you use? A. Repeater. B. T connector. C. Router. D. Gateway. The correct answer is repeater. Each network segment must have a unique address. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. You create home directories for users Jan and Kim on a Windows NT server computer. Jan works on a Windows NT Workstation computer. Kim works on a Microsoft Windows for Workgroups computer. After they log on, Jan can access her home directory but Kim cannot access her home directory. What should you do? A. Start the replication service on Kim's Windows for Workgroups computer. B. Relocate Kim's home directory to her Windows for Workgroups computer. C. Map a drive on Kim's Windows for Workgroups computer to her home directory on the server. D. You cannot do this. Home directories can be accessed only by Windows NT computers. The correct answer is map a drive on Kim's Windows for Workgroups computer to her home directory on the server.